Hello, everyone. Thank you for watching. I am Ethan Frelly from Beltran Properties Group at EXP Realty. Today, I have one of my good friends and special guest, Megan DeSalvo. She's the owner of Edge One Media. And as we've been talking about in this video series, Think Positivity, I just wanted to give everybody who I know an opportunity to meet the extremely positive people that I have in my life. I believe that you surround yourself with people that are positive, then your life's going to be positive. So, world, meet Megan DeSalvo if you already haven't met her. So thank you, Megan, for being here.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So, one thing that I've shared before, and maybe to you as well, is that gratitude is a big thing that I like to start with. Gratitude is something that our team starts with. It just kind of puts us in the right mindset. So today, I'm grateful for a beautiful holiday that we just had. We found out some different ways to stay connected with family members, which was just playing games online. So I wanted to throw it back to you. What are you grateful for today?
So today I'm grateful for my family and their health. Mom to two young kids, and I'm grateful every day that we are happy and healthy and able to spend time together. I'm also grateful that I've been given the opportunity to speak with a lot of people like you and be able to share a little bit of what I know and know is true, which is the more we band together and stay positive together, the better we're going to be on the other side of all this. So I'm just grateful for all of those things.
100%. And I'm grateful you're here for you being here too, by the way. So yeah, you kind of scratched the surface right there. How important do you think it is to have positivity in your life right now, especially with COVID going on?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's vital. I think if you surround yourself with the negativity and just all the different things that are going on, and you don't have moments where you reflect on the gratefulness and what you are grateful for, but also reflect on like the hope for the future and what that might look like, this is an opportunity, I think, for all of us to look at how we were living, how we currently are living, and how we're going to live. And I think I'm hopeful that in this process, people don't just take everything with them from previous and that they start to look at discard things that weren't serving them well or aren't currently serving them well. I think it's hard and it's difficult for different people. We have some people who are home alone and on their own, solo. You have people who are in small families, and then you have elderly. You have all kinds of people who are in different situations. And so it's just understanding and having compassion for one another and whatever situation those people are in, and being sure you're reaching out to everyone in your network so that everyone knows that you're there to be a positive support person for them.
Yeah, totally. So have you had any experiences recently where you've been able to help somebody turn their mindset around? Or, I mean, I know that you as what you're doing as well, giving back, is you're doing a lot of kind of personal talking or Zoom talking, helping kind of people through this. Do you have any recent like success stories that you wouldn't mind sharing?
Yeah, I actually have a couple. So on my personal side of things, I have some friends who are in different situations, and a couple of them are not in the most positive of situations. But looking at it from a mindset of, okay, you're in this situation, how can you, figure out how to kind of work through those things and have a good positive mindset so that even if you do need unemployment right now, being able to go out there and have the things that they are providing right now and utilizing to the best of your ability is really important. So I think looking at what do you want to do? And for someone, one of them, they decided they want to open a business. They don't work for somebody else in the future. They were working a corporate job and now they don't. And I think that happened to a lot of us in 08, 09, like that time frame.
Yeah.
So I am excited to see the innovation that comes from this time. So there was that on a personal level. On a professional level, I've had 87 phone calls with business owners or business people who didn't know what to do with their business. So they were marketing one way and they just didn't know how to pivot. So I really just listen. In those 15 minutes, I spend most of the time listening. And then I spend a little bit of time providing just a couple ideas, things that I hear them say that I think apply, or an idea that they have. Like maybe they did a face-to-face service and how can they take that digital? And so I've been supplying that information, and it's great to see some of those people apply it. I've seen some people who have never offered courses before. They're creating courses and course content, and just figuring out how to work in this time. So I've seen it both on both sides. And I think, for the people who can take pause and reflect and take some time for themselves, that's a beautiful thing. And for the people who can't, I think it's really important for them to know that it's still happening. Life is still going on. It just looks a little different, and people need to get comfortable with the that we're all using. For some of us, we've been using it long before now, but for others, it's new. And so just really, we're all kind of in this together and work through it together.
Yeah, I mean, you've been using this platform or something like this for a while now, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, we've utilized platforms like this for a long time, so years. And I think it's hard because we're in a digital agency, that's what I do. And so we're in a digital age where we've always said, people need to be tech savvy, people need to think about the digital future, people need to be on social media. And now people are being thrown into it. And if they didn't embrace it before, they are needing to now. And I think that that's the difficulty out there. But I also think it's a beautiful time because even if you stumble, even if you get on a platform like this and you are trying to figure it out and you can't, everyone is having kind of the same, thing going on. So we're all going to, understand if my kid runs up here right now, like those sorts of things happen. We all understand that. So yeah, I'm excited to see people embrace technology instead of telling me how much they don't need to use it.
Right. So yeah, I think that people are going to embrace it. And it takes 21 days to create a new habit is what I've heard that before. But do you think that the companies are going to embrace it? Do you think that once things kind of feel more comfortable, that everybody will take this to heart, and maybe more people will be working from home on a general basis? Or how? I know that you don't have a crystal ball, but how do you think you see that?
Yeah, I mean, so that's an interesting question. I do think that this is going to create more remote workers. But I also think that there are companies, especially, I mean, even ours, for instance, where having a collaboration and having people together, there's beauty that comes from those moments.
Yeah.
So I think that there will be a mix. I hope maybe it won't be the traditional work week like we've seen previously. Maybe there'll be an abbreviated version of that work week where we're together, and then outside of abbreviated, then people work from home, and there's flexibility and things like that. Hopeful. I don't know what it'll be. I think that corporate America is getting a feel right now of what working remote for people is like. And again, some of those brands have embraced that previously, but some of them haven't, and now they are. And so, it'll show them. I also think it's showing everyone if you're capable of working from home or not, because I have heard some of my friends say, oh, I'm just not really good at working from home. So I think there's that too. Like it takes a certain person to be self-starter, to get up in the morning, to shower, to get ready and do their day. If you're one of those people that doesn't want to do those things and just stays in your PJs, the productivity, that's, it just depends. Some people are really productive in their PJs. I don't know.
Right. Comfort, right?
No judgment here.
Well, do you have any tips or like hacks or anything, or like things that would be easy? Something that Nathan and I talked about was kind of like what you talked about, with still keeping to a routine and still even just making a bed.
Yeah, I mean, I think so I like to have mindful mornings where I wake up and I do some journaling, I do a little bit of reading, I look out the window, I have a cup of tea. I think having a routine like that where you do something that really just inspires you is good. And then if you can take it a step further and make sure you get showered and get ready for the day and all of those things, it helps. I mean, getting ready for the day and being ready for the day is really important. I can juggle more that way. If I've gone through that routine of the morning, then I feel like I can handle the kids' questions about school. I can handle the work. I can handle all the meetings. Everything feels easier. Whereas I've noticed, like on a Friday where I haven't done that, I just where, oh wow, by mid-morning I am not happy, I'm cranky, I don't know what's going on. So I just think that it sets you up to be more successful to that.
It's like walking through a door, like a transformation. Like you're at work now, or you're home now you're at work. I know I kind of go through that when I was doing open houses, where even if the open house was literally like right next door to my house, I would still go to the office first and get into my
Wow.
mindset. I mean, and that's a 17-minute drive away, and then so even if it was like it said directly in direct opposite direction, that was the one thing that I could do to kind of stay in a routine of like, okay, well, I'm going to work. I'm at the workplace, so this is the easiest way for
Hmm.
me to kind of get into work mode. A little bit different now because we have to get a shower. I shower. That's for me. That's my showering. That's my commute to work.
Yep. Well, and mindset is so important though. And I watched your virtual open house over the weekend.
Thank you.
But I think that's, it's so important, mindset. And so whatever that is for you, you should do. Before all of this, I had a very much like you leave it at the door
Hmm.
situation. And so I even have that here where it's like I leave it at my bedroom door. If it's home life stuff, once I've showered and gotten ready for my day, it's left at my bedroom door. I'll pick it back up when I go back through that door later in the day.
Yeah.
So if you can create, things like that where you have kind of a visual representation of what that might be like for you, I think that can be helpful.
Well, because I think that like sometimes the positivity also goes away from people when they work too much and they don't know how to turn it off, right? I mean, I think that I think you and I know more than a couple people, and we're probably some of those sometimes that too, where we want to continue to be productive, and if we're working, why wouldn't we be productive? So the easiest thing to do, especially now, is to find an anchor, like you're saying, whether it's a doorway or something that you're going to do. I'm like, okay, hanging the keys up now, we're done for the day. the,
Mhm.
door,
Well,
the
and
doors
to
are locked.
realize that, like, yes, even though, because I would say the first 2 weeks of all of this, I felt the same way. I felt like I needed to help everybody. It was intense.
Yeah.
But I think that it's really important for us to understand that it doesn't have to be. We can still have boundaries and set schedules, and sure, we can still be available to people outside of those times if we want to be. We can extend ourselves a little bit further than we usually would. Sure, but you can also have weekends where you don't work on the weekend or whatever that looks like for you,
Yeah.
whenever that. I know for you it was Wednesdays, and so if you have that day where that's your day off, like that day off,
Yeah.
do the things that you want to do in your home or with your family or whatever that might be to recharge, because if we don't have down charge, we won't stay positive and we'll ourselves out.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that I was having those problems probably about 3 years ago, where it was work, 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 and then never having time to release, and just I because of exactly what I said before, it's like, well, if I'm awake, why not work? But no, I mean, even now, it's like I have to go outside. I not even have to. I get to go outside and I get to hang out
Hmm.
with my kids, and I get to enjoy my 5-month-old. I mean, how lucky am I to be able to stay home right now with a young child and be able to see her growing. So many people don't
Hmm.
get that opportunity because they're having to work. So that's that. See, I'm trying to find the silver lining all the time.
Well, and embracing those things, I think that's the thing. Like, I didn't used to do family walks at the end of my day, and I
Oh,
do them every day now. And so the family walks that we do, it's amazing to see our neighborhood in a new way and see, our kids just enjoy going out, and you know and sure, there are things that, like, it's hard because the parks are closed like
yeah,
that, but we found a parking lot where of a school and there was nobody there, and we made that into a place where the kids could ride on their scooters and things like
yeah.
that. So I think it's just figuring out how to make this environment work in a positive way while adhering to all the guidelines, but also adhering to some fun for your family and being there for them. I think that that's really important.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, do you have any other cool things to share? Or anything good positivity things to share?
Yeah,
Anybody watching?
let's see. Well, oh my goodness. And that's the other thing. I think that there's some really great things that are coming out for families. So I'm excited about a lot of that. So like when Onward came out and we could
Mhm.
watch that with the family, that was really cool.
Yeah,
There's lots of fun things like that going on. So, just to see the community and how we're all coming together, how big brands are doing wonderful things. They're not making cars and vacuum cleaners, but they're making, masks and things for the community that
Right.
are needed. Hilton came out where they're offering, hotel room beds to first responders and
Oh,
people like
wow.
that. And so I just think like there's so much good out there. And what I've been encouraging people to do is just figure out, what can you do? What is the thing that you could do right now that's
Yeah.
good? If you are in a spot where you're not able to work, you're not able to do something, figure out something good with what you've got. We all have skills, we all have God-given talents. And I think if we utilize those things and share them with the world right now and help people, I just think that the more we help each other, the other side of this, we're all going to come out stronger. So I guess that's my positivity, is just reach within
Yeah.
and give as much as you can.
Well, that's awesome. And it kind of did, sorry, spark one more thing, just because a couple of weeks ago, I think that a lot of people were trying to, and me included, were fighting with like this feeling of helplessness. It's like, well, all I can do is stay home. Like, how is that helping in any way? Beyond like, I want to do something. I want to step up, and I think the people were equating it to World War II, where that helplessness was not there. It was people were working in riveting factories. They're sleeping on the floor so that way they could wake up and start to work and pumping out ships a day. So that immediate being able to help wasn't there. Now I think you're absolutely right. People are being able to figure out different ways, and I mean just the ingenuity of people being able to, like, hey, we're gonna make masks now because this is what some people are going to have to be doing on a regular basis, and so
Mm-hmm.
let's just start making masks for people, or like changing completely from going, or like I said, making cars to making respirators, because this is what our economy and our
Mm-hmm.
community needs.
Yeah,
So I think that's really cool.
it's really neat. And then I think like on a small scale, like just looking within your home and yourself and realizing, like, I had someone deliver art supplies to our doorstep the other day, and that is huge for my kids right now. It just, things like that where you can give little gifts of kindness and help people along the way and figure out what it is that you can do to give. I think it doesn't have to be making a ton of masks or doing
Yeah.
something like that, but just there's beautiful things that you can do to help each other and be positive through it, and to get to know your neighbors. I mean, how many, I know there are lots of communities where people know their neighbors, and you
Yeah.
probably know more than I do about that being in real estate. But, there's a lot of communities where people don't know their neighbors that well. And so I do think that this gives you the opportunity from a distance to, be there for your neighbors. There's a lot of apps out there that you can use to have conversations with her and still stay connected.
Yeah.
I guess that's the other thing, is like, we may be social distancing, but we are the most connected that we've ever been. People are on their devices more than ever before. They're on
Yeah.
social media more than ever before. They're able to get your messaging right now more than ever before. So, reach out, make that phone call, that text, that email, the things you've been waiting on doing, do them.
Yeah.
I think that that's the thing that people should try, is just reach out more.
Well, sorry, two more things on that. It's actually because you said something interesting too, and I've actually gotten away from the idea. That's the first thing, of calling it social distancing. I call it physical distancing, just because
Yes.
we are socializing. We're socializing right now. So I mean, like, if we were social distancing, this wouldn't be happening. But secondly, is that this is not the time to be not making eye contact with people, especially
Mm-hmm.
like when you're out and about. You're not going to get sick from making eye contact from people. And I'm looking at whoever is watching. It's okay. It's okay to wave and say hello to people. Yeah, just because. And what I've noticed too is that it's 50-50. Sometimes people are looking down at you, and I don't know why, but maybe just because they don't, it's awkward, and they don't know how to interact within the 6-foot limit. I'm still seeing people keeping 6 feet away in their cars too, which has been kind of different. Like, traffic's been different. So it's okay to act normal.
Yeah. I mean, I think like people do think like, oh my gosh, am I going to zigzag here? How am I going to go there? And
Yeah.
I get that. But sometimes we're so in our head that our expression doesn't know that we're friendly, and things like that. And I also think people don't want to be approached right now. So I get that too. Like, they do things so that they're not approachable.
Yeah.
But, just being able to, from a distance, be kind and just realize, what does that look like to everyone else, I think is important.
And I think at the very end right now, giving the most grace to everybody, because right now I think we're all fighting the biggest fight of our lives. Every one of us is fighting the same fight right now. So some of us are doing a little bit differently than others. So giving as much grace as possible, because yeah, that face can sometimes give off something that it's nobody's probably out there mad dogging on purpose. So
Everyone deserves grace, and my hope is that after this, people stop apologizing for how you live your life, or what that looks like. If you have to work, from home with your kids, they understand that your kids are going to show up. Just different things like that. I really do hope that this just brings around positivity and light.
yeah, I do too. Well, thank you so much again for being here today, and thank you everybody for watching. This is the end of our show.
Thanks
Please
for
like,
having
share.
me.
Yeah, absolutely. And Megan, actually, can you tell people how they can find you if they're interested in?
Oh, yeah, sure. So I am owner of Edge One Media and host of the Refreshing Edge podcast. You can follow us, Edge One Media or Refreshing Edge, on Facebook or Instagram. And then personally, I'm Megan DeSalvo. You can find me all over the place.
Yes, she's awesome, and she's also, like I said, very easy to find, super positive. And please check out her podcast. Excuse me. So once again, I am Ethan Frelly from Beltran Properties Group, and thank you again, everybody, for watching. Please like and share my videos. Bye.